The Māori people face many serious issues. Disproportionate poverty, disproportionate imprisonment and criminality, lower life expectancy. These are very serious inequalities, and they desperately need to be addressed. They are directly linked to a history of dispossession, assimilation, and disregard. In a society that values justice and fairness, these inequalities are simply inexcusable. The solution is strong policy. Simple pull yourself up by your bootstrap solutions do not work. These issues are generational, they consist of hard-to-break cycles of behaviour. Such simplistic attitude-based solutions will not address such complex problems. If you grow up in the wrong household, developing a strong sense of personal responsibility and hard work is almost impossible. This is not to say that hard work and personal responsibility has no value. Hard work and personal responsibility is necessary. But hard work and personal responsibility will only be enough if the right policies are put in place. It is very easy to speak about these things as though they are some magic solution. The reality is that many people, due to no fault of their own, grow up in conditions that do not create a sense of hard work and personal responsibility. And some grow up in conditions where even if they did exhibit such things, they may still fail to escape destitution. Addressing intergenerational issues is extremely complicated, and I do not pretend to offer all of the solutions. What I do know is that we need serious policy. A good first step would be making it easier to escape poverty. A living wage, a tax-free threshold, stronger trade unions, universal basic income. All of these things make it easier to escape poverty. The easier it is to escape poverty, the less poverty will be an issue. And the struggles faced by Māori are overwhelmingly the struggles of poverty. Māori are disproportionately poor. Higher rates of criminality and a lower life expectancy are a natural consequence of poverty. So addressing poverty must be the priority if we want to get these ugly statistics under control. Many of the solutions are bold progressive policies that benefit everyone. They are not race-based targeted policies. They will not address every issue, but they would be a good start. A tax-free threshold. This will encourage people to get into work and ensure that they keep more of what they earn. A living wage. This would make it easier to escape poverty. Free public transport. This would make it easier to get around, widening housing and employment options. Free doctor's appointments. This would put people in a better position to look after their health and get serious issues identified and addressed as early as possible. Decriminalised cannabis. It is well known that Māori face disproportionate penalties for cannabis use and possession. And yet Labour thought it would be smart to give police more discretion, as though this would somehow address those discrepancies. Decriminalisation is a very simple solution to this particular issue. Many of the policy solutions are not that complicated. They will not solve the inequalities entirely, but they are a good place to start. These policies would help poor people of all ethnicities. As Māori are disproportionately poor, they would disproportionately help Māori. The issues faced by Māori are above all issues of disproportionate poverty. Bold policies are needed to make it easier for people to escape poverty. That is what is needed. Yet many on the left seem more interested in virtue signalling, changing the names of government departments, arguing that we should change the name of New Zealand, thinking that we won't notice their lack of bold policy if only they virtue signal non-stop. The reality is that virtue signalling will not save Māori from disproportionate poverty. Such serious issues demand bold policy, and many on the left have no interest in delivering such policy. Virtue signalling is not necessarily bad, but it must not be allowed to compensate for real policy. Many liberals tell themselves that such virtue signalling will magically set everything right. It will change the culture, and then everything will just come right. The reality is that virtue signalling does a lot to make liberals look righteous and feel good about themselves, but very little to aid marginalised people. Virtue signalling is easier than passing bold policy or grappling with complex statistics. But it does not compensate for a lack of such things, and it does not address serious inequalities. We must be focused less on appearances and more on outcomes. Poverty-stricken Māori have more serious things to worry about than government department names. And such department name changes and the like end up compensating for real policy solutions, and Liberals feel satisfied with their efforts. Again, this is not to say that such virtue signalling has no place, but this is to say that it has a tendency to compensate for real policy, and we should take that dangerous tendency seriously. We need serious solutions, and making it easier to escape poverty would be a good place to start. Simple, pragmatic policies can achieve this result. We should introduce these policies as soon as possible.